This video is an introduction to our CenCon interface. This particular unit has been configured for a single volume direct-fired makeup air. This page you see here is our main page, and it will give you some general status points to show how the unit is currently operating. At the very top, you can see we have our discharge air temperature, followed by our outside air temperature, heating demand. The cooling demand and VFD feedback are not configured, as this is a single volume. The damper position, this is a 2-position damper, so it'll be 0 to 100%, right? It's open at 100%. This here is your discharge air set point, which can be adjusted. If you just click here, you can change it and hit enter to whatever you want the desired set point to be. VFD minimum speed and the outside air damper minimum position are also only used for multi-volume functions, so in this particular unit they're not used. Down below we have the mode you're in, heating, unit is on, and we have no alarms. Up on the right we have some status points. ENF is enable fan, that is an input to our CenCon. SA is your supply air output to turn on your supply air fan. DM is an output to your damper motor. And occupied is an input to make sure we are in occupied mode. These tabs at the top are where you change from page to page. You tab over to MXM, you'll be on the next page. On the MXM page, we have more detailed information about how the unit is operating. Again, up top here, we have our discharge air temperature, outside air temperature, and our heating set point and our heating demand. Down in this section, we have our very low pressure set point, our low pressure set point, and our high pressure set point. A very low pressure set point, if you're anything below that 0.12, would indicate a broken belt or a blockage of air, something fairly extreme of a lack of airflow. The profile plate control set point is only active on a variable air volume unit. Down here in this section we have our purge timer, which is currently set for 4 seconds. A trial for ignition timer, which goes for 1 minute. And our cool down timer. On the bottom, we have unit statuses. 1 is move to purge, 2 is purge, 3 is move to ignition, 4 is ignition, 5 is main valve, which means your burner is now on, 6 is a post purge, and 7 is shutdown. At the top here, you have a view of where your max control valve signal is currently at, from a minimum low fire set point all the way up to 330 milliamps as a max. Here is what your pressure sensor across your profile plate is currently reading. The profile plate actuator demand, again, this is only configured for multi-volume units, so it's not used in this application. And down the bottom, our set of lights here. E and H is enable heat. That is a heat contact input to the MXM. PV will energize when your pilot valve has been turned on. FR is an output for our flame relay. SR is a safety relay. It's an internal contact that searches for certain safety sequences that have happened. Once it's engaged, it's passed all its safeties. This is your valve feedback to let you know your main valve is turned on, and over here is a high limit alarm. The next page you're going to see on the tabs here to the right is ball valve calibration. Now if you click on ball valve calibration, it's going to tell you not configured for this unit. This unit is equipped with a max control valve, not a ball valve. So it's a good indication of how your unit is programmed. Anything that you're not configured for, this page will just come up. As you can see on all these tabs, may have lots of non-configured pages. So So we go one more over to our MXM setup. This is our service mode page. Now if you're going to do any testing on the unit, you can click this button and we can put it right into service mode. After we go into service mode, you can see time elapsed. It starts counting up and lets you know how long you have been in service mode for. This will go up to 1 hour, and then it will automatically take itself out of service mode as a safety precaution. Down below is your service override. This is a number that's in a percentage. 4% is low fire, going up to obviously 100%, which is high fire. Now they're at 100%. If you look over to the right, you can see your max control milliamp signals went up to its maximum 330 milliamps, so your valve is 100% open. We're going to click on it again, switch it back to 4, which is your low fire setting, 4%, and now we're back down to 35. Down below, we have your discharge air temp that you can monitor while you're doing these tests. Over here, we have our low fire pickup. This is how we set our low fire setting on our burner. 4% is always low fire. So over here, if you want to make your flame smaller, you can decrease this from 35 to 30, and your flame will decrease, and you can take a visual check on your burner and see that it's set up right. If you need to increase this, you can set it up to 45 and hit enter. And our flame will get bigger, and you can again go do the visual and make sure your low fire flame looks good. Up above, we have our ambient lockout, so your burner will be locked out anything above whatever this is set to. This is also adjustable. You can go into here and set it to whatever you'd like to set it to. The next page we'll be going to is the alarm page. The alarm page has unit. Here we're not showing any alarms at all. Heating would give you specific heating alarms. If we were configured for cooling, we would show you specific cooling alarms, or if you had a communication alarm. A communication alarm would be if the CenCon lost communication with any of the expansion modules, in this case the MXM or the PXM. If an alarm does come up, it will be displayed here, and you can click this button to do the alarm reset. You also can do a power cycle on the service switch on the unit. The next page we can go to the right is save and load. Here you can see you have a minimum discharge air set point and maximum discharge air set point. This is your total range you have, which is adjustable. You can click on each one, change it to a min of 50, and your max you can go as high as 135. You can change your range, anything inside of there. Below is the signal to your damper motor. It's a 2 to 10 damper motor. If you ever need to adjust the range, you can adjust it here. Again, anything inside that 2 to 10. This is your purge time, as we explained before, just to purge any unwanted airs or gases or anything that are in the unit for 4 seconds. This is also adjustable. After you make any adjustments to this page, or back on the MXM setup page to your low fire, if you adjust that low fire at all, you need to come to this page and hit save on save settings. Once that's done, everything will be saved, and that's how the unit will be left. After that, I will bring you back to your main page. For any additional information, you can look in our CenCon technical manual or contact your local technical support. Thanks for listening.